Hello and welcome to episode 2 of our Waterbeavers Update 6 playthrough here in Cycle 2, Day 1. Last time we got off to a decent start with the Waterbeavers back at it again. And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot of things to fix, a lot of things to address. And I'm going to start with the Bramble situation. I discovered in real time last episode that these things spread infinitely now and cannot be stopped by paths. And you guys had a bunch of comments about that, including some stuff I wasn't aware of. Apparently, fences, if I can figure out where they are in the menu. Actually, we have a tool for that. We'll just put in fence in tool finder, and oh, gold fence. Okay, well I can't exactly build that, but I've got them here in the paths and structures, and they cost 2 logs apiece. Oh, and the description was even updated. A small fence to contain the cursed brambles. Alright, and then we have a gate as well that's going to allow the beavers to get in and out and hopefully block those. So, we can and probably will start putting those in places. But the other stuff that was proposed that I thought was a pretty smart idea was doing tree-lined paths, kind of like what we did here. And then there's also a couple things that I kind of came up with, you know, when I guess, elected to disregard basic logic and go for the most contrived, ridiculous option possible. There's a set of lodges in the game that allow you to pass through them. Well, they're called pass-through lodges. They have a door on either side, and these are very useful when building a dam that you want to have beavers to have access to the other side without going up and over. So I was thinking, you know what? We could kind of contain brambles if we're actually wanting to harvest them for the flowers like we've been doing here, because that's a good ingredient that gets used in a lot of stuff. We could just kind of, you know, build a pen around them with these pass-through lodges. But yes, the fences are a much, much faster and easier and cheaper way to handle this stuff. So unfortunately for right now, we kind of don't have a lot of options that are going to be quick and cheap for us to build to take care of the brambles, so we're going to kind of have to live with them for a little bit. But when we actually start getting a lot of wood chopped down from the trees, and I think we're going to be in a good place to start building stuff like that. But today's goals, say as we triple speed through the night here, I really want to get the district center actually placed, and I want to start making our way toward building the library, which, you know, honestly, it's not hard to build. We have the compact library set as soon as we destroy the broken cart, but the hardest thing about the library early on is getting the supplies to actually produce science. So you take a look right here. These are brain-stimulating mushrooms. These have to be produced, I believe, in the mushroom grower using sawdust and bad water. And again, the mushroom grower, very cheap relatively to build. It's only 40 logs. But that's one of those other buildings that you have to find room for, and I intentionally chose this map because there was not a lot of free space upon which to build. Got to keep things fresh and interesting. But that's just one of the things that we have to have for the science to come out of the library. The other is kimchi, which kimchi, conveniently, gets made in the fermentation barrels, or if you want to build a fermentation house, you also can. But that's where the bramble flowers come in. So we don't want to get rid of all the brambles quite yet, because we need to use those to make kimchi so we can make science, and kimchi also serves as an actual food. But yeah, it takes 3 days, 30 cabbages. That's a lot of cabbages, folks, and 9 bramble flowers to get us into all that stuff. So okay, hold on. Why do we have no food? No one's working in the farmhouse. Okay, well, see, this is, oh no, we're hungry. We are hungry beavers. All right, well, this is now the most important workplace in the entire world. This is the most important construction in the entire world, and this is the second most important workplace once it's built in the entire world. Oh no, somebody messed up. I'm not going to name any names, but it might have been me. Yeah, so harvest immediate. No, harvest. Don't plant them. We need to eat the food now. we need to eat this absolutely immediately. And we have all these berries here. Take this out of triple speed. That's always going to get me into trouble. Okay, gatherer flag. I can reach those berries there. I'm going to pause that one. We'll go ahead and get this popped in as well, and that will be a prioritized workplace. yeah, we gotta get some food, man. Gotta get some food. If I have beavers die to starvation in episode 2, I'm never gonna hear the end of it for as long as I live. So, please and thank you, please, come take care of this for me. Do me this kindness. Well, at least we have you know, some cabbages being harvested, and then they can be eaten. We have some berries now, so, you know, that's a good thing. I can't leave this on triple speed early game. It's going to be a bad idea. So, anyway, what I was trying to say before I noticed that we're accidentally starving our beavers is there's still a lot of stuff that we have to do to get our early game goals accomplished. But if you remember my earlier playthroughs of the Waterbeavers, we've done 2 so far. Because I was, you know, learning the game as I went along, which apparently is officially discouraged on the mod page on the Steam Workshop. I ran into a lot of problems that were probably easily preventable if I had just, you know, taken the 75 to 100 hours to play through the mod entirely before making a video series. That's not how I like to operate. I know it's probably frustrating for some people who actually know what goes on in these things to watch me stumble through it, but I honestly think that's part of the fun. The good thing about this playthrough is it's time number 3. It's go around number 3. I know a lot of this stuff. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of the stuff, and I think we can get this done to a decent degree of satisfaction. We can help this along by going ahead and planting sunflower seeds now. We already have access to berries. Obviously, we have access to water. The kimchi is going to be kind of an annoying thing to get to early game just because it takes so many cabbages to start a batch. But once that second farmhouse goes in, it's going to be a lot easier. I might even go ahead and build a third just because it's going to be that important. The brain-stimulating mushrooms might seem kind of intimidating if you're not familiar with how it works, but, I mean, like I said, it's a mushroom grower. The building can function without workers. They just have to start the process, and they can just, you know, do its own thing. The dangerous part is the bad water. And, you know, that is one of those things that is going to infect the beavers. It has a small chance to do that. But it takes time. And this map, fortunately, does have easy access to bad water right here. And we don't have to wait for a bad tide like we did with the last playthrough on the Lemon Canyon map, which is a fantastic, fun map. But it was really, really hard, and it delayed our progress quite a bit. So, yeah, we need to get more logs. I thought I had some of these marked for cutting, but it appears... Oh, no, I just paused these. No, oh, no, they're just getting the bramble flowers. Okay. That's a problem. I need them to not do that. So I guess I will just take all of these extra things out, make sure that is marked. It looks like it is. Yeah, there's so many bramble flowers, and they grow so fast. If you're wondering why I'm not getting rid of them right now, is because it takes them, I don't know what the actual number is, but it's some crazy long amount of time to manually disassemble the brambles with the Mark Resources for Demolition tool. And I have 2 builders. I can't justify that. I literally cannot. It is basically impossible. Uh-oh, somebody died of hunger. All right, commence the roasting. But fortunately, we do have a gatherer flag that can operate with all this stuff. We've got somebody getting cabbages. I really hope nobody else dies of hunger. This is just going to be absolutely awful. This is going to be a terrible, terrible episode. But I think we might be okay. As long as this doesn't get down to 0, we're making our eventual upgrades here. Oh, come on. Come on. No, there's more. All right, well, you know how I operate here. I don't do restarts. I don't hide my mistakes. I own them, because to do otherwise is to betray the confidence of the people that have placed their trust in you. So, I'd rather be stupid and have that be known than to pretend I'm smart and then, well, you know how that goes. So yeah, we've lost 2, but now look. Now we're at 8 out of 10 remaining beavers have been fed. Hopefully that continues. All right, so now I have 8 vacancies because, well, all of this whole mess is what it is. I have 12 planks because we have 2 of these beavers still gnawing away and making some planks for us. Remember, for the district center, we only have to have 12, but we have to have 30 logs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the log gnawing station so we can utilize all of the remaining logs that we're cutting down to take care of constructing the district center. We have all of our pine resin. So now we just need to find a place to put it. I would love to put it kind of in the same general area that we're working with here, but I can't delete the broken cart until the district center is built, so it can't go here. And yeah, normally, I feel the need to emphasize this. Normally in Timberborn, the district center is free to place. But, you know, Waterbeavers is not normal Timberborn. It's Nightmare. Well, actually, no, I can't call it Nightmare mode because I've already done that. I've done Apocalypse mode. I've done Nightmare mode. I don't even know what's left after that in terms of continuously escalating indications of peril. But I digress. Got to find somewhere to put this thing. It unfortunately cannot go here because it is too tall. And, I mean, I feel like somewhere right around here would actually not be a bad spot, but because, you know, you have the access across here. I don't want to get rid of, I guess it doesn't really matter for berry bushes. Right here specifically so I can take advantage of all this space and then leave a little bit on the other side. Yeah. I will sacrifice 3 of these berry bushes, and that's just going to be the way the cookie crumbles. But that's going to be, for right now, a pretty decent spot for that to go, and we're just going to have to live with our choices there. I'm growing more and more worried about the brambles here. We're gonna have to do something about those guys. But I cannot afford to take my workers out of service that much. Okay, and these guys are going to complain as soon as that is inaccessible, so I guess I will let them finish their showers. There we go. Now this can be unconnected. Unconnected's not a word. I know, I'm trying. So that's going to go there. I can't connect this to the path yet because obviously it's a separate district thing. But we'll go ahead and properly name this, as we always do, if I can spell correctly. Beaverburg 26. Hit that OK button. I don't know why the enter key doesn't do that, but that's fine. So now this is our mission #1 priority, to build the 4-way district center. Then we can finally get rid of the broken cart. As a reminder, we talked last episode a little bit about this, but this will drop some crucial items, which we have glorious storages set aside for now. Incredibly compact library sets, laboratory glassware, medium cauldrons, and anvils, 1 of each. And all of those will be used to kind of jumpstart our initial industry. The anvil, probably one of the more important ones. Take a look at our metal thing right here. The primitive ironworks will be the first metal processing building that we construct. But it's not going to be the only thing we have to build to be able to start messing with the metal fasteners. It's going to be a very important thing. We have to have coal. How do we get coal? We get a primitive mine. Now, if you remember from previous Waterbeaver playthroughs, then you already know what I'm about to say. But if not, here's how this works. The metal mine setup here is not really a thing that exists in the game in Waterbeavers, because you have to actually smelt the metal yourself. So the primitive mine, you see the Fe, that is the periodic table symbol for iron. You have NO3 is sulfur. You have a C, which I always, carbon, but it's coal. It's basically, for all intents and purposes related to the Waterbeavers, it's the same thing. And then, of course, NaCl is salt, sodium chloride. Why did I just think of the Jimmy Neutron scene there? Anyway, regardless, the primitive mine does not go on these underground ruins. The primitive mine and a couple other buildings actually have very specific terrain requirements. So you take a look at this thing. It has kind of a way to get into the side of a cliff. It says need to aim 2 levels below ground. So we have to find or create a cliffside that is exactly 2 blocks tall. And this actually might be pretty challenging for how we have this set up until I get rid of some brambles. If there were no brambles right here, this would be a perfect spot for it. But you can kind of see, regardless of the red for the brambles being in the way, You have those little X's with the flags on top of them, and then you have a mine shaft going into the side of the cliff, which I think is a really cool visual thing. But the brambles are in their way, so we're going to have to do something about that. The other option, probably the one that we're going to end up doing, honestly, is to remove this crappy warehouse and move this log gnawing station, and then we can put that here. It's not going to let me show it to you because, you know, this is in the way, and I can't place it until this is gone, but that is going to also satisfy that requirement. Other stuff we're looking at, I guess I could just, you know, show you guys this while they're working on building it, is later on, we have an option to do the medium mine once we've unlocked a couple more technology things, and of course research it with science. This one does not have to go into the side of a cliff, but it has a much more involved construction process we have to take care of. You see these, it's so hard for me to show this with the tooltips on the screen. Yeah, just to show you right here, you have to excavate enough to put a staircase in. There's technically other ways to do it, but the way the mod wants you to do it is to excavate enough to put a staircase in a certain pattern, and then this is actually a pit. What I've done in the past is I have just blasted out the entire thing, and then I've put in the extra space that you get by using ladders instead of a staircase. You can put warehouses or piles, depending on what you're getting out of the ground, to actually store the stuff. I don't know if that still works in Update 6. Maybe something was changed where that's no longer possible. That's always what I like to do, kind of maximize space a little bit. But that's pretty far along in the future, and I just got a reminder that we need to do something about our injuries. Well, this beaver specifically has broken teeth, which is something we could very easily fix, provided I can remember where the, there it is. Stuff gets moved around in different mods. The tooth grindstone is a very simple, very easy thing for us to go ahead and just pop in a place that I have room, which I do not know. I guess for what we're looking at right now, it's probably okay. Oh, these brambles are taking over everything. Probably okay right now to just go ahead and put that thing right there. They can start grinding their teeth back down, as one does. But that's going to take care of that, and then unfortunately the rest of the injuries we can't do anything about until we have at least a little bit of science. And then ideally we want to have the clinic, which is a little bit more involved because you have to have a nursing license to do that, and that of course is researched in... No, it's not in the ENS. I'm sorry, that comes out of the library now. That was a change that was made for, I think, Update 5. I just forgot about it. But yeah, like, look at all the stuff that has to go with the nursing license, though. It's like you got pencil sets, you got basic balm, you got berries, you got paper, you got strong alcohol, you have pollution resistance factor, and you got the brain boosting salts. There's a lot of stuff that's got to go into this. One step at a time. It's really, really easy to get overwhelmed with this and get frustrated, but I do firmly believe this is a very fun and worthwhile mod to be playing if you have the patience to, you know, take it slow and, you know, not just throw in the towel as soon as you run into the first of many brick walls that will make themselves known to you when you play this game. But we do have our second farmhouse now, so I have one set to plant, I have one set to harvest, and everything is looking pretty good. Looking, well, a whole lot better at least. So now I think it's probably... Oh, hey, this is done. All right, now I can take this out of one-time speed. Put it back in one-time speed. Now, notice I can't do this yet. So, we're going to delete the broken expedition cart, and it's going to throw things into chaos. But once that's done, we'll just hook this back up to the 4-way district center. Or hook it up for the first time, rather. And then everything will be right in the world again. We have stuff for all of these glorious storage items to go into. There's other stuff that gets dropped as well when this gets demolished, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. All right, say goodbye to the broken expedition cart. Goodbye. Everything is broken, but not for long, because now we can just get this hooked up very easily, very simply. Get these situated here. I probably should straighten this out, so we'll go ahead and do that. But now everything's all good to go. So, what did we grab out of this? We have explosives, a very small amount. It's probably only a few. Got some logs, we got some pine resin, planks, some scrap metal, which is very good to have early on. And then, it seems like this spot has most of the actual important stuff. We got our anvil, incredibly compact library set, laboratory glassware, medium cauldron, a gear, and some more stuff. There's a lot of just junk on the ground that they're going to eventually, place in storage once they have the ability to take care of that, and we will have to do what we have to do here. So this is pine resin. That's pine resin. I'm going to change this to hold dynamite. I'm going to hold explosives. Excuse me, gears, and then I think scrap metal has to go in a pile. So we'll do that at some point. There's so much to fix. So much to fix. I did say earlier I wanted to plant some sunflowers. Now we have the second farmhouse that's going to be a reasonable, achievable goal. So I guess I will. So does that try out when we have? Well, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plant these 3 rows as sunflowers. See if they can get that going, because we're going to want to have those before too long. And now, see, look, we have all the fun new stuff that we got by destroying the broken cart. I love the detail on this. Okay, first of all, this reminds me of the what is it? The WinZip logo or WinRAR. Whatever the one is that, like nobody ever actually buys. But laboratory glassware, I don't remember that looking like that before. It might have, and I just didn't pay attention. But you got your cauldron, and you got your anvils. So, now the game can truly begin, now that we have access to the rest of this stuff. The laboratory glassware, like I think I said in the first episode, goes into the alchemist. And this is going to be how we make our brain-boosting salts, which we have no reason or ability to even unlock at this point. We already talked about the primitive ironworks needing the anvil, and the cauldron, I believe, has a couple different things required. No, I worded that sentence incorrectly. Excuse me. The cauldron, thank you, email client, is a required component in several different buildings. Not the cooking tent, because that's a small clay pot. We'll get to that later. But the cooking house, which is a really, really good early mid-game building for making stuff. And then you have a mechanized kitchen house, which is not technically the same, but has one of the same recipes and can be automated, which is really nice. There's a couple other things as well. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Oh wait, the wine cellar requires laboratory glassware now? Was that always a thing? Anyway, beside the point. Finally, we have the option to have 4 workers as builders, which means we can start to combat the brambles if we decide that's going to be a good use of our time. So I am going to just, kind of task force these things. The brambles cannot spread onto non-irrigated land, which is helpful. But they are going to very, very quickly become a big problem if we don't take care of them. So we are going to have to start cutting those back at any possible opportunity to take care of the rest of this stuff. So we do still have some pine resin left. We don't really need to, get too much going on there. I have this deprioritized already. We have our ever blossoms that are growing and are actually able to be cut now. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think I have a lumberjack in range of this. So I'm going to pop in a lumberjack flag here, which can reach most of this area. I don't think I have another one up here, nor should I need one. And then this here, obviously the lumberjacks can get flowers off of the brambles, but they cannot remove them. That is a builder thing. Unless you mark them for cutting. But as you can see, it really kind of doesn't matter, because they're going to grow back so quickly it's almost not even worth your time. It's a very slow, very inefficient method of trying to farm wood. That's why we have this set up here. But I was trying to tell you guys what else goes into this. Like I said, library probably should be one of the first things we try to build outside of this. I don't have enough planks, so we're going to have to turn that back on. But this building is also going to need a place to go. I guess this is okay. It's okay to go here. Probably not much else I could really put in this exact area, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. So it might seem kind of weird to just, pop this thing underneath this overhang here, but I'm going to do it. Get them started building on stuff. And then we will, of course, as time goes on, be able to contribute more planks and more logs to this. Actually, logs shouldn't be a problem at all because we have 52, and this only takes 30. But the planks are going to be a little bit of a chore to get done there. Yeah, you can see right here, one of our builders is hacking away at all these brambles. And it's probably going to take them the better part of a day to do that. So, while the library is being constructed, we do need to get over here to get access to some bad water for the bad water bucketing post. But if you remember, or I can't remember if I showed you or not, so if I remember, we have a staircase category now in Waterbeavers. We have a lot of different options. We have the brown log stairs, we have the birch log stairs, everblossom, scrambled log. You don't have to put logs in from each tree because, you know, the game doesn't keep track of that. But this is an aesthetic thing that you can just choose depending on what you want to look at. Regular stairs are locked behind science. We also have spiral stairs, and we do have ladders. So one thing that, you know, if you haven't played Waterbeavers, you probably have never even considered this. These stairs take up 2 slots, not 1. So you kind of have to be a little bit more careful when actually placing these down because it can be a big hindrance to your design process here. I'm just going to go ahead and pop regular brown log stairs down here and get a path connected because we do have to be able to access the bad water so we can get the bucketing post. Just stuff to keep in mind for the future here. And yeah, see, the brambles are already getting out of control over here, and it's going to require a considerable, oh no, it's going to require a considerable investment of beaver power to, you know, take these things away. I really don't know how to go about solving this problem. Do I have a path under this? I think it's really hard to see. Yeah, oh, because I tried and failed to contain these things. So we're gonna this is, oh, I hate these things so much, man. Oh, these are like the bane of my existence. Like, they'll spread like wildfire. It's just completely impossible to contain. So we're gonna have to make some choices at some point to get rid of those. At any rate, they have the incredibly compact library set in place in the library. That's just what it's going to be. I'm going to deprioritize the construction of the library because it's really not that important at this exact moment in time. And the construction of the stairs also isn't important either. I need them to take these brambles out, man. Gotta take them out. Gotta take them out. The only way to eradicate the brambles is to remove every single bramble from an area and hope it never spreads back to that area. And that's like, look, it's been a cycle and a half, and it's already taken over half of our starting area here. And you look around the rest of the map. Thankfully, there's no brambles here. But basically, any area that has had even one bramble that has been irrigated is now going to be completely inundated by the time we get. Look at this. Look at this. Evil plant. Deeply evil plant. But I digress. We have a lot of stuff still to do, but I feel like I have to focus on getting these brambles out of the way, or it's going to completely drive me insane. Even more so than I already am. Let's I mean, I only have 4 of these guys, and it's just going to spread quicker than anything can possibly hope to contain. I'm just going to go ahead and plant more cabbage here. Do I need all this cabbage? No. But it's going to stop the brambles from spreading into that area at least. And I can always, you know, just unplant the cabbage once it's actually gone. But it can't spread to a square that has been allocated with an actual thing that actually takes up space. According to the comments, the bramble spreading was accomplished by putting the element of code that allows the property, it probably wasn't actually coded, but the property that allows the dynamite to be placed on paths or vice versa to the brambles, which is, that's pretty cool, but it's super annoying, so we're going to have to just, like, look how long these guys have been messing with this. My frustration. But at least we have the district center now. And we're in the process, technically, of building a library, and we're in the process, technically, of putting in bad water bucketing post, and in the process, technically, of... Oh, that's right, this has to be popped in like that. We are in the process, technically... How many technical processes of getting everything ready for the library to exist in the first place? I need to get fermentation barrels going. That is going to be... Oh, wow, that model got changed. Hold on. Hold on. This did not used to be a 3x1 model. This was a single barrel, but now... I guess that would explain the higher amount of cabbages that's put in there. Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. How did this get on this path here? Get out of here. Get out of here. This fermentation barrel, I guess, stack at this point is 40 logs, but it's going to start making kimchi for us. Remember, it does take several days. But you get 36. And that also goes into the library as a thing that will be consumed by the researchers who work there. Yeah, pay no attention to the fact that some of the, the more advanced stuff requires brain-boosting salt. So I guess we got substance enthusiasts working in the library, which, interesting. I digress. I need them to stop these brambles from going absolutely everywhere, or we're going to have the absolute worst time that has ever been had. It's so impossible to get to get these brambles out of the way. Oh man, I almost feel like it would be better to focus on getting the brambles not off of the paths first, but get them off of the ground so I can put in pieces of fence so they can stop spreading so much. So I'm going to start with this corner piece here. I know they do still have to get rid of this stuff, but if I make this a super priority, then I can go ahead and pop in fence as soon as that is done. That takes so long. It takes so long to do this. You know what I didn't do is I didn't mark those trees for cutting. That probably would have been a helpful thing. That's the wrong button. There we go. Wait, no, it wasn't the wrong button. But now it's the right button anyway. All right. Get that in there. Get that in there. Cut the trees. These I'm not going to cut down because that's whatever that's called. All right. So now the wood fence is there. I hope it can't jump past the fence. So now we're going to have to be careful about this. I'm going to put in a gate here. Except now this bramble nonsense has to be put away. What'd you do in the second episode of Waterbeavers? We did bramble crisis management. Yes. Gripping gameplay. Only the finest. But I guess it is technically, a huge part of Waterbeavers at this point. For better or for worse. At least the fences look nice. Whether or not they... Ooh, they're pink. That's cool. How do we still have no water? That's what I want to know. All right, I keep not wanting to start a sentence because I think they're going to finish this, and then I remember just how slow it is. Thank you, email client. All right, so that's ready to go. Put the gate in place. There we go. Now, the brambles can never again come this way once this is built. We unfortunately still have actual bramble nonsense over here, but it will be dealt with soon. So now that it can't spread past the paths, assuming this is actually how that works, then hopefully we can move on to other stuff that's more exciting, more necessary. I would love to have other productive things like mushroom growers. So it'd actually be a pretty okay spot for one. Not a perfect place for one, but We'll see what happens, I suppose. Tell you what, these need to be the priority to get those out of there. I think they're probably going to take care of those first because they already started. But if I get rid of this, these cabbages will be, hopefully fine. And I still, wait, why do I have, oh, we're thirsty. Oh, don't, come on, man. Alright. Alright. I value honesty very highly. So it hurts me. It hurts me when I do stuff like this because I know you guys are going to call me out on it and I'm going to have absolutely no excuse. So we have to prioritize the water pumps again. And we have to not super prioritize the farmhouses. Like, why do we not have any water? Why are we all thirsty? All the beavers are thirsty. They're going to die. They're going to die now. And it's all my fault. Everything's my fault because I'm the one playing the game. All right, yeah, get in there and start pumping. Come get your juice. Well, it's water, it's not juice. You get the idea. Mistakes. Oh my god, these brambles are relentless, man. Like, I've got these all marked for removal and they don't stop. I've got this prioritized and they're not doing it. Come on, man. Look, if the entire second episode of this series is me just chasing brambles, nobody's going to watch the third one. At the very least, though, we do have a large quantity of cabbages. Oh, and we have a drought approaching, and I have no water pumped. Oh, we're done. It's over. It's over. It's over for us. I got nobody lumberjacking here because I ran out of beavers. I can't take anybody off of the district center because that's the only way to combat the blasted brambles. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. you gotta do me this kindness. Alright, so that's done. We have to eradicate these things, or we will never know peace. Alright. Because I know they're just going to keep on spawning the little, I don't even know what the correct term would be, little bramblets or whatever. They're not going to stop. They're never going to give up. Never, ever, 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 ever going to give up. I am going to very briefly force a beaver to stock this up and then remove them because that does take 3 days. And we're going to need to have access to food. Well, at least we have 2 days to the drought, and we have a whole 5 waters stored up. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? There's still... Oh, I didn't actually click the button, did I? Okay. All right. Because we have 196 food, now I can actually force Rotsack over... What a name. I can force Rotsack over here to take care of putting stuff in to the fermentation barrel. As soon as it has 30 cabbages, then it will start. Just get these brambles out of here before I lose my mind. Alright, so it's starting. That is now super deprioritized. My spacebar is rebelling against me. And now that's taken care of. This is the only bramble over here that still... Oh, are you serious? Come on. I might actually be angry at this because I actually dislike this. But it's supposed to be hard, so there will be no mercies granted. So, it is what it is. God, this stupid weed. Come on. Get these things out of here. You're actively detracting from the enjoyment of this series. At the very least... Oh, this requires planks, which I don't have, and I don't have the beavers to make planks. Alright. So, cycle 2 could possibly be 5 or 6 days long of a drought, and I have 80 water. Oh my god, dude. Alright. I have storage for 180. If they can actually, you know, put the work in, make this a viable thing, then I think we're going to be okay. Okay. We got all of the brambles off of this top side here. The fence gate is currently our big obstacle, because I don't have planks. We put 10 of them into the library. Of course, the library is not yet finished. They're putting logs into the stairs. That's fine. I really don't have the extra beavers to open up the log gnawing station. But, you know, this lumberjack flags aren't really doing anything over here at the moment because there's just brambles absolutely everywhere. Because I need to contain them. I don't really have the ability to do that yet. I'm glad the fence works, though. Alright, let's get these 2 beavers in here. It's not going to be done before the start of the drought. We're just going to have to accept that. And there is going to be, you know, a little bit of water remaining in here when the drought starts, but this is at the same level as the exit to the map, so it's not going to be there for long. And I don't have the room to put another one of these in a convenient location without putting in a set of stairs. Yeah, you might think this is a good spot to put one of those, but keep in mind, this is the deep part. This is not the deep part. If I were to put in another water pump here, well, first of all, I couldn't get inside of it, but I put this in here. You can't flip these unless the flip key got remapped somewhere. But I would have to have a platform, not only a platform. Remember, because Waterbeavers is oppressively difficult. This is a watertight building, which means it can only be constructed on ground or on top of another watertight building. I can't put terrain in yet, and if I did, it takes 1,000 pieces of dirt that have to come from the mechanical drill. The mechanical drill requires a blueprint. The blueprint has to be researched, and the building that researches the blueprint also has to be unlocked with science and other stuff. So we are just unfathomable levels of technological advancement away from putting dirt in a hole. The only other option we have is to put in a levee here, which, if I do that, and then I put in, click the correct thing, I put in this water pump, it will allow me to do that. But the levee requires 30 pine resin, 45 logs, and 20 pieces of clay. We have none of that, so this is not a viable option for us going into this drought. I wish it was, but it's not. Just to let you know why I have not done this. Now, it's not hard to put in clay stuff, right? It's right here in the industrial thing. It's just 20 logs, but it's 1 clay per hour with 4 beavers working. So we would have to tie up 4 beavers for 20 hours. That is effectively a day and a half of work time to get enough clay to build the levee. And then it's also 45 logs, and then the water pump itself is only 25 logs. Go figure. But just to let you know how just incredibly hard a lot of this is. Hold on. It says 45 logs. Are there actually 45 logs in this? So this is 6. We got 6, and then we got 7. No. Okay, that could actually be 45 logs. Could be. I'm not going to sit here and count them because that would be a tremendous waste of your time. But at any rate, we have 115 water. Did anybody die of thirst? No. They did die of hunger, but we addressed that. I guess this is going to be an interesting thing for us to come to terms with here. It's the folly of our choices. I'm so glad these can't spread up slopes or stairs. That'd be tremendously terrible. I like the decoration here. This texture reminds me of green dragonhide armor from old school RuneScape. It's not exactly a match, but that's fine. All right. I think beavers consume what? 2 water a day. I've got 15 beavers. 30 water a day. We got 100 stored up. Now, the beavers can go a couple days without having water before they start dying off. Nothing consumes water here, so that's good. I'm very worried. I'm very worried about the length of this drought that we're gonna be working with here. Please don't be a long drought. Okay, 3 days. We are looking okay. We're not looking great, but we're looking okay. This is survivable. This is definitely survivable. Yeah, pump like your life depends on it, because I got news for you, Bucko. you're gonna be real thirsty at the end of this drought, but they're gonna manage to squeeze out a little bit out of that, and I think it's gonna be fine. We get this taken out, and then I can put in a mushroom grower. Please note that the mushroom grower consumes water, so we can't start it. Oh yeah, see, that just immediately went away. We can't start it until we have actual water in reserve. The sunflowers are ready to be harvested. We don't have storage for those. Cabbage that is drying out will die in 3.5 days. I'm pretty sure this is going to be irrigated before then, but it is what it is. The brambles, again, demon plants that they are, can survive without water for over 3 years. Okay, it's not technically over 3 years. It's like 2 2/3, because math is hard. But yes, this is our chance to go ahead and kind of curtail the brambles over here, because they can't spread across dry land. So if we can go ahead and just remove all of the dead ones, then that is going to give us that much more ability to keep these things in check as we move into the next cycle. So we're going to place fences in here just to stop the nonsense from spreading. This is already kind of contained, and we don't really have any other space that needs to be monitored like this. But since we have no water in here for the next 3 days, we can deprioritize. We already have these guys all the way going there. This is already set up to have up to 5 beavers. So now it's got 4. And we can, gnaw on some planks, make some sawdust, make some whatever. Not gnaw on planks. We got to find something to do with our sawdust, which does directly tie into the mushroom grower. There is a fast recipe that uses sawdust and 1/10 of a unit of water in 1 hour to make 1 mushroom, which, is a little bit more wasteful in terms of water, I think, but it is a way to get rid of sawdust early on without burning it. I feel like we've had this discussion like 10 times about the mushroom grower recipes. But, I don't know. I'm never going to understand how the math works anyway, so. Alright. What am I... So I said I was going to put in the mine here. I desperately want this to just not be a thing. Alright, let's pause these. I'm going to go ahead, since this is already kind of cleared out because of these mini warehouses, I'm going to pop in a fence here. This is already removed. I'm going to put fence there. And then right here is going to have to end up being a gate. Well, it doesn't technically have to be a gate. I'm going to deprioritize or just completely remove the priority whatsoever from there so that we can get this taken out, and then I'll put the gate in there, and then that should, being the operative term, prevent any more brambles from getting here ever again. Hopefully. We have 1 day left in our drought. Get these other fence pieces popped in here. I guess I didn't need to pause these. That's fine. As soon as this is gone, gonna pause and put the gate in place, and then hopefully our long national nightmare will be over. Alright. Gate there. Oh, is this not gonna articulate around the corner? Well, it doesn't matter. Not the end of the world. Go ahead and just get these things set up here. Alright. They're also slowly putting the stairs in place. How are we looking here? Still, need another 46 planks. Yeah, it's going to be a while on those planks. I think this is not going to be a quick process. But at least we will know that the brambles will be dealt with eventually. But I feel like we've gotten some neat stuff done here in our cycle number 2, as the cycle number 3 begins momentarily. We do have our district center. We do have the start of a library. We have a fermentation barrel that I guess they ate all the kimchi, and they didn't have any more worker in here because we don't have enough beavers. Well, you know, this will get taken care of in due time. Got bramble flowers stored, which is nice. We had water left over, which I was very surprised by. Nobody working in the farmhouse because they're busy working in other jobs, huh? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and say this lumberjack flag can be paused. This gatherer flag no longer needs to be a priority. That can be minimum priority because we have actual food coming in now. We don't need the berries at this exact moment. That gets us back into the farmhouse. As soon as the water comes back, I'm going to get these water pumps reprioritized. I've already got that deprioritized. We just need more beavers. We just need more beavers. And I need to put in a 3rd water pump regardless. So, I guess I'm not going to have... Wait a second. Wait a second. I just remembered. You know what we've got? Rebel. We've got 12 explosives. You know what that means? So I can come in here and I can, in theory, depending on how we want to do this, I can put in a water pump in an advantageous location where one previously did not exist without having to build levees. So I could come in here, put a piece of dynamite right there, and then have access to another water pump that will be, you know, not drought proof, but more drought resistant. Now, before this gets brought up, yes, the water pumps ideally should be placed next to each other because there is an upgrade building that can go between, not like this, but if they were right next to each other, it could go between the two and hook up as like a second story thing. We don't have anywhere on this map yet that is going to allow that to be possible. So as a result, the best thing I can do right now with what I have access to is going to be to use explosives to do... Oh, good. I just had the thought as soon as I started talking. What if the dynamite is locked behind science again? Anyway, that can go there. These 3, and then this, and then a little bit more is going to have to be removed, but I'm going to, I guess have to let them put this in first. Hey, remember when I said I was going to end the episode, and then I didn't do it? Yeah, good job. I want to make sure this is taken care of before we're done. All right, that's ready to do... Oh, no, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. After, let's see, 3.5 years of playing Timberborn on YouTube, I have finally allocated a hotkey to dynamite, and there's much rejoicing. I've chosen F10 for no reason. There we go. There you go. That was for all of you in the comments who've been begging me for to do that for years. It's done. It's finished. Now I can actually, you know, come in here and get rid of these berry bushes and you put the pump in, and then we can all move on with our lives. While we are waiting for them to take care of that, go ahead and start doing our end of episode stuff here. I'll go ahead and place this, and then I guess I could just get rid of that entirely and put a path in place. There we go. But yes, I'm very thankful that you choose to watch these videos. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the support for the beard boosters. Make it possible to continue making videos every day and not worry so much about the quote-unquote business side of YouTube and not have to take sponsorships for stuff I do not want to endorse or clog up your viewing experience with. Instead, you can have it clogged up with my stupidity, but that's a fun thing sometimes. Yeah, I'm sick of seeing ads for stuff I don't want to buy, and I don't want to put you through that either. So, as long as I have the ability to avoid doing that, I'm going to not do it. I'm going to just be thankful for the support that you guys give that allows that to happen and allows our fun with the beavers to continue. In other games, too. It's just, been kind of a beaver fest here for the past, 6 months because we've had so much fun with the new Update 7 stuff, and then the regular release of Update 7 is coming in May 8th, I believe. So that's going to be cool. We're going to have a brand new series start out with that. And I've got a pretty fun idea that I've been trying to do for a long time, but now is actually going to be possible. So get excited for that. We're going to do our best to get Waterbeavers as far along as we can before that time. And then the Folktales series we're currently working on may or may not be finished by then. I'm not going to rush that one. We're having a whole lot of fun with it. But if I have the ability to finish that by that time, then I'm definitely going to try to do so. All that being said, I am out of time for this episode. And I'm going to have to just say we'll see you in the next one on Friday. Stay safe, have fun. Bye-bye.